Okay, hello everyone. This is Amanda. Welcome to my classroom, which is my room. Today I'm going to teach Biology Form 4, Chapter 3. It's about plasma membrane. It's part of the cell. We learned in Chapter 2. So, 3.1 Structure of. I made a typo. Aha! The structure of plasma membrane. So I drew a little diagram here. This is my little diagram. So this is what you call a phospholipid bilayer. Where can I write this? Let's just ignore what just happened. Anyways, this drawing I did is called the phospholipid bilayer. Okay, this is structure of the plasma membrane. The drawing I did here is the phospholipid bilayer. So as you can see, it's called phospholipid because it's made of phospholipid. Ta-da! And it's called bilayer because it has two layers. Bi means two. Layer means layer. So there's two layers of phospholipid. So about this phospholipid thingy, phospholipid is a lipid. Lipid is a fat. So phospholipid is a fat. So the head, this is the very cute head. Big head. Okay, so it's called a polar head. It's so ugly. Okay, the polar head, obviously it's polar. It loves water. So it's hydrophilic. Hydro is water, obviously. Hydrogen, oxygen, water, H2O. Philic. Philic means love. So the polar head loves water. So it's hydrophilic. Now moving on to the tail. This is nonpolar tail. So nonpolar tail hates water. It despises water. So it's hydrophobic. It's really easy to remember honestly because nonpolar is like oil. Oil hates water ma. So polar hate, hydrophilic, loves water. And nonpolar tail is hydrophobic. It hates water. It fears water. Phobic means fear. So it's like literally scared of water. It hates water. Okay? So yeah, that's the phospholipid. So let's move on to the proteins. So okay, I forgot to mention. The plasma membrane is permeable. Okay, permeable means that substance can go through it. But it's not just permeable, it's selectively permeable. What does that even mean? Okay, selectively permeable means, permeable means can go through ma. Selectively means like you select, you choose. So this thing is very select. So only a few substance can go through this thing. Okay, so it's selectively permeable. What about the others? Okay, they just don't go in lah. So but then only small substances can go in, like oxygen. And like, wait, let me check. Like oxygen or water or carbon dioxide, whatever lah, those type of examples. Okay, one of the examples is oxygen, obviously. Water. They can go through this phospholipid bilayer. But then there's also a few like small molecule or like molecules that are bigger than those examples that I said, or ions like sodium, potassium. They can't just go through the phospholipid bilayer. They need to go through something that can help them go through, because they can't fit. Yeah. Okay, they're called proteins. So I'm going to replace these with proteins. There's two types of proteins. Two types. Let's just pretend that looks good. So there's two types of protein that can help those bigger substance to go in, or ions. This one is called Chanel protein. Oh, wait, wrong color. Chanel protein or channel proteins are just like, the substance just go inside. Okay. The other substance just go in. This one, nanoprotein, it just go inside. But for carrier protein, this is carrier protein, by the way. So the substance, they go in, then it open and close, open and close. We'll talk about this in 3.2, just to like, this one is just the structure. So I can explain that part later in 3.2. So they just go through, open, close, like a door. Like the door. Next is glycolipid and glycoprotein. Glycoprotein, they are usually on top here. That's a glycoprotein. Ta-da! It's on top of the phospholipid bilayer. But then sometimes it can be on top here, like a little party hat, little glycoprotein hat. Another one is called glycolipid. That's glycoprotein. This is glycolipid. What's the function of glycolipid and glycoprotein? So, according to my notes, glycolipid and glycoprotein acts as receptors to hormone. Receptors means like they detect. Okay, they detect the thing. They detect the impulse or stimulus. So they act as receptors to hormones such as insulin. Next, they stabilize membrane by forming hydrogen bonds with water. Hydrogen bonds with water. We will learn that in chapter 4.1, water. Stabilize. They stabilize the membrane. This is the membrane. They stabilize it with the power of hydrogen bonds. Okay, and last thing, they act as antigens for cell identification. So for example, we have our little immune cell. This is our immune cell, okay? So usually on top of the immune cell, they have antigens, right? Okay. So they use this to like identify the cell so they can kill them, okay? And last thing in the structure of plasma membrane is this. What are these? Why am I drawing scribbles on them? Okay, these are called cholesterol. Okay. When I say cholesterol, you guys will probably think of like that thing that gives people heart attack. But cholesterol is good in here, okay? Cholesterol inside the artery may be bad cause heart attack. But you need cholesterol in the plasma membrane. Why? Because the cholesterol makes the phospholipid, this thing, they made it stronger and more flexible. So we learned already in chapter 2 that the plasma membrane is flexible. The cell is flexible because the plasma membrane is flexible. If the plasma membrane is not flexible, then the cell is not flexible. So that's all for 3.1. Recap. So, structure of plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is permeable. Well, not permeable. Selectively permeable. That means substances can go through, but only certain of them. Only of certain molecules and substances can go through. Small, or like oxygen and water, carbon dioxide, they can just go through the phospholipid bilayer. This is the phospholipid bilayer. So introducing the phospholipid. It has a head, which is polar, and it's hydrophilic because it loves water. It has a tail, which is non-polar, and so it's hydrophobic, hates water. Okay, moving on. Proteins. There's two types that helps to like go in bigger substances, like maybe glucose or maybe ions like potassium, sodium. Yeah, there's two types: channel protein and carrier protein. Channel protein, substance just go through. Just go. Carrier protein, they carry. It's like a door. Oh, glycoprotein and glycolipid that act as receptors for hormone. It stabilizes the membrane by forming hydrogen bond. It's so obvious I never have fun, by the way. And it also acts as an antigen for cell identification. And lastly, cholesterol. Cholesterol makes the phospholipid bilayer more stronger and more flexible. That is all for 3.1. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.